All right, here's a live look at the radar right now, and it's this cell right here near Barrie. That is the cell that has produced this potential tornado. This storm is moving east at about 40 miles per hour. So I want to track that for you and show you exactly who could be at risk.
Yeah, Ed, location, location, location. Not just a business motto, but also a problem for people this morning. That snow has been pretty consistent in the higher elevations, and that's what we expected.
Very nice for the weekend, and things are looking beautiful outside this morning, Ed. Check out this sunrise. Okay. Wow.
That's
Very
live we're looking at, right?
Yeah, this is a live look right now. CBS 6 Albany Skycam, just beautiful. But when I say some of us have some cleanup to do, this is what I mean. Every blue dot behind me on this map indicating a report of wind damage from the last 24 hours. So drivers this morning, that's something to watch out for. You could find a little bit of debris on some of the roadways, especially those secondary roads, so watch out for that.
Coming up, I'll show you some of the snow totals we got from yesterday's winter weather, but today is day 2, and we're going to keep adding up the totals. I'll show you what we've got and what we're still expecting coming right up.
Meteorologist Nick Johnston, you can see the freezing rain still coming down. As expected, this ice storm has made a real serious mess of things. You take a look at the ground right now, we've got about a quarter-inch of ice already caked onto the ground. This is not only making for very dangerous driving conditions, but also even walking to your car is going to be dangerous this morning.
Meteorologist Nick Johnston, we are at the top of Mount Mansfield here. This has been a wild year in terms of the weather. So far, record-breaking season. We made it to the 4th snowiest season ever on record with a little more than 120 inches, whereas Mount Mansfield, the snow still here. May look like spring in your backyard, not the case up here where there is still 97 inches of snow depth. Put that in perspective, that's about 8 feet of snow. I'm meteorologist Nick Johnston here on Cold River Road outside of Rutland, Vermont. Behind me you can see this is one of the houses that has been evacuated. There have been several houses along this road that have been evacuated today. I just spoke with the homeowners a few seconds ago and they said thankfully they did make it out safe. Now normally the river, they can't even see it from their house. It's about 100 feet back behind that row of trees.
Well, I came out this morning and it wasn't half as this high. And my husband come in and he says, you would need to come out here and see this.
And then came up here 10 minutes ago and this is the worst I've ever seen it, and I've been here for 18 years.
You can see behind me, this is Route 4, a major artery connecting Rutland to Killington, Vermont, and it has been completely destroyed by the flash flooding. You can see here in the river, pieces of the road scattered everywhere. Nick Johnston here in Rutland, Vermont. Now in the last 24 hours we've covered a lot of destruction due to Tropical Storm Irene, but none quite like this. Behind me, this once was Route 7, a major artery connecting north to south across the state of Vermont, and as you can see, this morning Route 7 is essentially gone. This is a 4-lane highway, and this is not something that's going to be able to be fixed in days or even weeks. The state of Vermont this morning is crippled, and it's going to be a long time before the state is whole again. In Rutland, Vermont, Nick Johnston reporting.
Down in North Carolina, for example, kids took advantage by doing a little bit of early sledding. Not seen here. Take my word for it, Nick.
I will. Ed, you're a skier. Are you jealous? You ready for that snow?
I'm ready. I would prefer to see it in the mountains.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think you've probably got a lot of agreement from our viewers this morning.
I can't believe ski season is like wrapping up. I feel like it just got here.
So soon? I mean,
soon.
it's April.
Hey,
Doesn't it usually wrap up around St. Patrick's Day?
Wait.
No.
First I've had everybody, where's the warm temperatures? Now I got Julia lamenting the end of the ski season.
This is what you get as a weatherman. People like me. I complain until you take it away, and then I'm like,
there are any other people like you.
You guys go ahead.
That's what makes me unique.
Mugshot, though, is its most liked post on Facebook. They're getting calls from all over the country. Women hoping that he will return them, you know, when he has a chance. Just as Nick had predicted. That's your CBS 6 Eye on Traffic.
I gotta talk about that inmate story. Ed, that raises the age-old question. If looks could kill, would he be a shotgun or an Uzi?
Oh, no.
Clear skies behind.
I'm CBS 6 meteorologist Nick Johnston, and taking a look at the Albany Skycam, at times the buildings of downtown Albany have been a little bit tough to see, and that's something you need to know. If you're hitting the highways, you're going to experience that same loss of visibility on our area roadways. Now, here's an overview of the timeline of this storm. 36 degrees today, but we've probably already hit most of our highs. And from here, we're going to start sliding down through the 30s and into the 20s. Most of us have already made the transition from any mix over to snow, and at times now that snow will be heavy. Then into the late night, the snow starts tapering down, but our temperatures keep dropping. That means that those roadways will be icy as we head into the late night hours, and many by then will be covered in snow. Now, overnight, the snow showers back off. The snowfall rates diminish, and that means that the plows should be able to get a handle on things overnight, and that means that road conditions will probably dramatically improve during the day on Thanksgiving. There won't be much snow on Thanksgiving, maybe a flurry or an isolated snow shower. So that's kind of the overview here. Let's work through what's going on right now. Temperatures to the north are still dropping. 31 in Lake George right now, 33 in Glens Falls, 32 in Saratoga, Schenectady, 34. Now, that's a drop of 3 degrees from the last hour. And if we continue falling like that, well, you get the idea. Those wet roads are going to be icing up fairly quickly. And looking at the south, well, temperatures there are already a bit cooler. They started dropping sooner with that precipitation coming in earlier to the south and eventually spreading north. 32 right now in North Adams, Pittsfield, Greenville 32, Hudson 32, and Albany right now at 33. We'll be heading below freezing soon enough. And the north winds, they're not very strong, but they're just going to continue to reinforce colder air across the region. And that's a big part of the equation, because if it wasn't for this cold air mass, this would probably be a rainstorm. But because we've had this reinforcing shot of cold air, that rain is changing over to all snow. That happened fairly quickly. That snow spreading north between around 7 and close to 10 a.m. is when it was approaching the capital region. This now is what it was looking like at noon. That little bit of rain, it's not going to be rain for much longer. Any mix is going to be switching over to snow pretty quickly. And this is going to be a fairly heavy snow, both in terms of the accumulations and in terms of the weight. So that means that when you are shoveling the snow, take your time, pace yourself. It's okay to take breaks. This stuff's going to be heavy, so it'll take some effort to clear. Now, this is what the radar looks like, and I wanted to show you this because there are some pockets of heavier snow down near the Litchfield Hills, the Berkshires. These areas have been seeing some pretty intense bands of snow at times. Yeah, and there will be more. Great Barrington, you've seen some of that, and that's the concern. It may not be snowing heavily all afternoon, but at least at times it will be, and that can make for a real quick problem on the roadways. Here's what the map is showing. This is the setup. And that's the storm responsible for these travel headaches for millions along the East Coast. Now, the setup is just picking up this moisture, spreading it back into our area. But by tomorrow morning, this is what it's going to look like. That low tracks away at 7 a.m. and takes the snow with it. So here's what we're looking at. Snow continues moderate to heavy at times through the afternoon, but after 10 o'clock tonight, the snow starts backing off. And by tomorrow morning, should be looking at just a few leftover flurries, nothing significant there. Now, this is going to be a heavy snowstorm. For most of us, kind of an overview here, 6 to 12. It's going to be widespread. Some places will get over a foot. The highest numbers are going to be found to the south and east, and this is what the map looks like. 9 to 13, including the capital region. Catskills, Berkshires, Litchfield Hills could locally have some higher amounts. Tomorrow for Thanksgiving, 36, but it will be pretty quiet, albeit cool, and we will get a chance to start cleaning things up. Quiet weekend ahead. Liz?